co-panelists.
All right, let's welcome in Seth Denson, NewsMax contributor, business and market analyst. Also with us, America's accountant, who's got to be taking this. This has got to sting for you, America's accountant, Dan Geltrude. He's a CPA and founder of Geltrude and Company.
Welcome in, gentlemen.
Let's describe our reaction to this. Dan, we'll go to you first. America's accountant. America now ranked behind France, behind Italy, and behind Canada when it comes to GDP growth. What happened?
Well, this is a international embarrassment, shall we say. But look, we're not in a recession, so everything is fine, right? So let's throw out all this other nonsense. We're in a recession. It feels like a recession, and the data on an international basis is proving that out. Now, let's be clear as to why we are here. We are here because we seem to be focused only on the demand side of solving this problem, meaning let's bring demand down, and not focusing in on we need to fix supply, specifically in the energy sector. That is the way for us to turn this around.
Seth, is this an anomaly? Are we looking at being in third place in the G7 for a long time here?
I don't think so. And again, I take this from a bit more of maybe a pragmatic look. And again, I'm not saying that everything Dan said around policy and energy isn't right, but let's also recognize that all of the other G7 countries, if you combine them, they're not the size of the U.S. economy, even combined. And so I remember when I started my business and I had one client. When I added another client the next year, I grew by 100%. And so it's not as hard for these companies or these countries to grow, nor is it harder for them to retract. In addition, I think this is an important point, a lot of the central banks in these countries have not raised interest rates. We are finally starting to have economic policy that makes sense from a financial, fiscal perspective, at least from the Fed, not from our federal government, but from the Fed. As such, we're going to enter into a recession sooner. Those countries will follow. It's just a matter of time.
Well, we love your pragmatism, Seth.
Yeah.
That's why we have you here. We can't all be firebrands flying off the handle like Dan.
Yeah. Or math whizzes. We're the English journalists here, so we're glad the accountants are in the house here and the analysts.
Dan, settle down. This is the money huddle.
We like
got to
the
be
passion.
calm. We got to be cool. All right.
This might anger a lot of people.
Take the ball to the field, buddy. Take the ball to the field.
How about this, guys? There's a new report out with the Daily Mail. They're naming names, and they're putting some big numbers next to them. These celebrities, some of them with the net worth in the billions, they went and got PPE loans for their companies. Kanye got a couple million, Jay-Z. Some of them were forgiven. We know the PPE program has been plagued with fraud, but you know, Americans seeing people like Khloe Kardashian and Reese Witherspoon getting to really cash in on this, it's unacceptable. I mean, at the end of the day, where's the oversight? How did this happen? Seth, to you.
Well, listen, a lot of these people have these businesses. They don't run these businesses. They hire really smart accountants like America's accountant to say, hey, is there money out there for me to get? Should I get it? And they followed the rules of the law. This, to me, isn't an issue of them getting the money. Now, certainly them talking out of two sides of their mouths sounds a little, is a little rough. But it's rather of an issue of how were these programs set up in the first place. This was an $800 billion program. It's estimated that $80 billion of it was wasted. And it was effectively, if you didn't want this to happen, structure it differently. The people that had the right accountants to go out and find this money for them got it. These people do, and they got the money. You don't like it? Talk to Congress, not them.
I mean, Dan, is that sort of the fact? This was available, and you know they had good accountants.
Well, let me be a pragmatist here, if I may. So the government had to do something very quickly to get these businesses help, and they really didn't have the time to work out all the details. So that's really why we had so many flaws in this, was simply because the time frame was so short. The directive was, let's get that money out to the people that need it. Well, what ends up happening? Money got out to the people that needed it, but to a lot of people that didn't need it. So I do agree with Seth. I don't think they did anything wrong. They hired the right accountants. They got the money legally. It's terrible with optics, but that's the way it was designed.
I remember Shake Shack got like $10 million, and there was an outcry, and they gave it back because it was an embarrassment. So I guess these celebs just slid under the radar, and we're lucky they weren't outed?
I mean, these PPP loans were like a fire hose, and if you're a small company and you had like a little cup, The government, here's their fire hose. If you're a big company, you know, you could collect a lot more of that water at, you know, they'd like just like.
Let's not forget too, John, these were distributed through the banks.
That's right.
And so if you had a good relationship with a bank, you ran to the top of the list.
Critical.
These folks have good relationships.
And it should this is the lesson for everyone. Like Dan said, when the government has to do something in an emergency, there's going to be waste, there's going to be fraud, there's going to be abuse. When they say we have to do something, get ready for the waste, fraud, and abuse that usually follows.
And those at the top and those with connections are likely to get the better end of the deal, unfortunately.
Just like those accountants who are so, like Dan, who's going to make sure none of his clients get audited by the 87 IRS agents.
Why do you think I use Dan?
All right, this is not a
Seth.
commercial for Dan Geltrude, by the way. I should clarify that. All right. Seth, Dan, great to see you both.
Great huddle, guys. Thank you.